Finally nearing the end of the E3 press conferences. As usual, I'm back. I have the notepad of doom. I'm just going to jump straight into this and try and get this done as quickly as possible. I'm getting drained here. Square-Enix start this off without any sizzle reel or anything like that, which is awesome, but yeah, we'll get to that. Just Cause 3 is announced. Straight out the gate, boom, here's one of our big franchises. Wingsuits, the grapple hook has been updated, it's multi-line, you can change the tension on it. Awesome. Basically, wingsuits, parachutes, grappling hooks, explosions. That's all you really need to know about this game. 400 square miles of open world. The storyline seems to be very combination of save the world and liberate Marichi, which is your mother's town, from this evil dictator guy. Other than that, dude, this is Michael Bay's game. You know, explosions, explosions, explosions. So that was a great way for them to open up the E3 press conference. I'm interested. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a big fan of Just Cause 2. I might have to just go back and replay it and just see if I was just playing it wrong. Like, supposedly this is meant to be a big action, blow shit up game. So obviously I haven't been playing it right because I didn't get the same experience. We're going to jump game to game to game. A new Nier game has been announced. No subtitles, no real info. They brought out this dude in a weird Moon Man head thing who gave us absolutely no info. They were basically saying, "Oh, we are so happy to bring this to you. We are happy to partner with EX. We don't really want to tell you anything, so please buy our game. We'll give you more information in fall 2015." So I'm guessing Tokyo Game Show or something along those lines. Yeah, no new info. Okay, whatever. Next game, straight up, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, we saw this revealed at the Microsoft press conference. Not really much new here. They showed us a behind the scenes of how they've updated the graphical content. They're focusing on tiny details, skin texture, clothing that changes with the environment. You know, she gets dirty, she gets bloody. If she's out in the snow, as time goes on, snow will accumulate across the clothing. Basically, they're trying to explain to us that they're giving us the most realistic looking Lara ever as you go through the same type of stuff that you had in the previous Tomb Raider game, which was, you know, puzzle solving, survival, fighting, quick time events, etc., etc. So, not really anything new here. Again, I didn't play the last Tomb Raider. I really have lost all passion for Tomb Raider, and this is not going to bring me back. I'm sorry, this will be somebody else that'll be playing and getting this thing, man, not me. But we did get the addition of a mobile game being brought out as well, Lara Croft Go, which is a little turn-based mobile app thingy. Who cares? It's probably going to cost a small fortune for something that we're not really going to play much of. We got the first sizzle reel of the night. For some reason, Square Enix thinks that we're going to get bored and they want to throw a whole heap of flashy images at the screen and go, "Hey, here's a whole heap of stuff." Yeah, they're right. We jumped straight out of that to the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer being shown once again. Same as you saw with my Sony stuff, man. Ugh, I'm happy. It's first on PS4, so I'm guessing it could be a limited exclusive. But when I mean limited exclusive, I reckon it's only going to go PS4 and PC. No Xbox One release. I'm sorry, Xbox fanboys, but this game is probably not going to be for you. We got an update on the Final Fantasy VII HD PC thing that they're bringing out. It's basically coming out PS4 winter of 2015, and it's also coming out on iOS. So next up is some Kingdom Hearts news. We got both kinds. We got the announcement of Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, which is a mobile game involving 6 characters in a storyline. Feels very Chains of Memory like, in a selection wheel with attacks on it. Supposedly this thing links into Kingdom Hearts 3, so yay. Not only do you have to have, Kingdom Hearts HD Remastered 1 and 2 on PS3, but you've still got to track down, I think it's, I can't remember the name of it. There was one on 3DS that you've still got to track down and play. Now you've got to play mobile games in order to get the story before Kingdom Hearts 3. That's annoying. But when we do get to the Kingdom Hearts 3 news, we get the confirmation of our first world for the game. Not the first world you're going to be in, but one of the worlds you're going to traverse to and have to fight in. This is the world of Tangled, the movie by Disney, released by Disney, basically saying we can do whatever Pixar does. It looks alright. The game basically looks very big, very animated, taking lots of power out of the PlayStation 4 and using it to its full potential with their art style, which is awesome. Lots and lots of fancy spectacle graphics and the like. I noticed, though, that the Keyblade turns to guns and even, like, some sort of rocket launcher. I'd rather it just stay a Keyblade, personally. But if that's the way these guys want to do it, I'm not going to complain. At least it means that we're finally getting the freaking game eventually. It was shown as now in development, which means, guess what, still no more release date. And that is what you call annoying as hell, because people want a goddamn release date. Stop jerking our change, Square. We want to give you money. We just want to know when we're going to get a product for the money we want to give you. So from there we get World of Final Fantasy. Basically, they replay the trailer that was at the Sony press conference. It's set in the world of Grimar. It's a chibi-ized world with a lot of familiar faces from past Final Fantasy games. I think that looks like that iOS thing that they brought out, except not quite. I'm playing the iOS game. It's actually quite good. Supposedly this is going to be a entry-level game for new and old players alike. So basically they're trying to find a way to get new players into the franchise without having to brush up on 15 games worth of content plus the sequel. So we're probably looking about somewhere about 18, 19 games. Including sides, we're probably looking at nearly 25 odd games, if that, even more. The only thing that we are given, sort of info-wise, is that players will be teaming up with monsters in this one. So I'm guessing we might have a Pokemon aspect where you're collecting monsters, not just your summons, but actual monsters from the world and teaming up with them, maybe? I don't know. Square-Enix seems to be extremely vague on every little thing that they want to do. And that, at this point, was really getting annoying. This is coming out on PS4 and Vita sometime in 2016 as an aimed release date. As we know with Square, this could be another 2-3 years in development. So, going from Final Fantasy, we jump into the realm of Hitman. This was a very interesting title. It's very same old with the Hitman. Very, assassination based, going either guns blaring or try to pull off the perfect stealth assassination. The difference between this is that it's coming out digital only with gradual releasing development time. So over time you get new locations, new missions, and all that type of stuff. And they say that they're going to listen to fan feedback and change the game according to that feedback. So if things aren't working out quite well, or there's something you want to see happen, they'll listen to that feedback and incorporate it into the next section of the game. Very interesting idea. I could see this falling flat as episodic content does, but who knows, this could be an interesting way. Supposedly, one of the key features with this model is having limited one-time missions. So, say a mission might only be available for 24 hours to kill one person, and once they're dead, they're dead. Could be an always online game. That's the other thing I'm worried about, is there might be multiple assassins, or some sort of multiplayer component built into the single player, which I'm not a big fan of. You have single player experience and you have multiplayer experience. You don't try and do this, because then it creates this. But they do have community created content once again with their contracts, which is great. It's great challenges for online people who love that type of thing. The storyline seems to have you guarding a list of agents that you'll have to get back or something like that. Very standard spy-esque storyline. Then we got another sizzle reel, and I swear to God, I saw something about Parasite Eve on this thing. But then again, it could have been my brain just going, hey, you want to see something that you actually want to play? From there, we go straight back into RPG land with a Star Ocean title, Integrity and Faithlessness, being announced. It's basically been announced. You get to see footage of it, and there seems to be a bit of free movement, action, very Final Fantasy XII-like in my opinion. But other than that, there was no story ideas given, no characters introduced. It was just, here's what we have in development, we'll tell you more later. Ah! You disappoint me, Square-Enix. You disappoint me. Then we get Deus Ex Mankind Divided. We actually get a fair bit of info on this game. They're using a new game engine, basically, to try and flesh out the game a lot more. The game will arrive, hopefully, early 2016. I reckon we are going to get a push back on this one. Story-wise, this is in the year 2029, 2 years post-Human Revolution, where augmented people have become outcast, pushed in the slums, except for your character, Adam, who works for Interpol as some sort of, augmented specialist who goes around the world stopping terrorists, etc., etc. Except he believes that there's an Illuminati around that are controlling everything. So he joins a revolutionary group and plans to bring the Illuminati into the light and justice and all that other good stuff in a spy story, and something that tries to make it sound like The Matrix. Supposedly you're getting more weapons. Basically you're in the middle of a city at war. The cities themselves remind me very much of Judge Dredd's mega cities, along with the same type of problems. Who knows? And one thing that they did stress, that choices mean everything in this game. Not just in how you play, whether you go in as a gunner, hacker, stealth expert, etc., etc., but also your choices in-game are going to affect the story overall. Which means multiple story branches, multiple endings, multiple reasons to replay. That, like I said, due out early 2016, but expect a pushback. I'm reckoning probably about halfway through the year. We get 2 more announcements, and then we're finally done. We get a Final Fantasy Portal app in English coming out in summer 2015. It's basically an info app, I guess. They didn't really tell us anything about it. We got shown concept art of their new project, Project Setsuna. Basically, it's been developed by Tokyo RPG Studio. It's going to be due out sometime in 2016. It's a whole new IP, and yeah, it's a Square-Enix RPG. That's all we know about it. And that's where things ended. I'm sorry, but I thought E3 was supposed to be one of these things where you tell us about the games that are coming. Give us a reason to get hype beyond CG trailers, which we got plenty of. You know, plenty really great looking trailers, and nothing. Like, where's some info on Final Fantasy 15? You've just updated the demo, for God's sake. Give us an idea of what's going on with that. Give us some goddamn release dates instead of, this is in development, this is in development, this is in development, this will be coming out sometime around here, we hope. I'm sorry, Square-Enix, this is why you're failing a lot of people right now. It's because you're not giving us any information, no release dates, no reason to get hyped. You know, you blew your biggest hype moment with Sony's press conference, which was Final Fantasy VII, and thank God for that. If you had done it here, you would have actually got a reaction out of the crowd. The crowd sounded like they were dead. You could hear one guy the entire time trying to be hype about it, and it just wasn't working. But you do have games that are going to be worth getting. You know, Deus Ex Mankind Divided looks good. World of Final Fantasy, I'm interested. Kingdom Hearts 3, damn right I'm interested. I've got 1 and 2 remixed. I needed to buy those games. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'll buy that, even though word is you're going to be changing parts of it. Whatever, your game, I ain't going to complain. But Just Cause 3 has me interested, but I need to see and know more. That's the thing. We were shown so much, told so little. I know this is probably just a Japanese way. Nintendo did the same thing. They showed but didn't tell. And when they told, it was about stuff we didn't need to know. You know, I don't care about Lara Croft's new outfit change with weather crap. Give me info about the story, about the characters, about why I should care. For me, this was the end of E3. And man, I feel disappointed. Square-Enix, you fail me, sir. You have stuff I want, but you're failing to get me hyped to the point where I need to run down to EB Games right now and drop money. You know who's got me dropping money right now? Bethesda, EA, Ubisoft. They've got me dropping money now. Nintendo and Square-Enix can wait until the games come out. Unless they have really good pre-order stuff, which I highly doubt it. The hype train derailed majorly at the end of all this. And ridiculous. So with that, I'm done with Square-Enix for now. Pray Final Fantasy VII becomes awesome. Because it's the only thing that's going to save this company at the moment.